Welcome into a brand new Stack in the Box podcast. I'm Matt Verderame, joined by a couple of very special guests today. We have Mack Hollins, receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, and his friend from the Special Olympics, a gold medalist in the Special Olympics, and that Zion Dillard, who won in the 2022 USA Games a gold medal in soccer. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing well.
Good. Zion, I wanted to start with you, man. Being a Special Olympics athlete takes a lot of dedication, a lot of work. What has it been like for you, not only to get to that point, but then to actually achieve the ultimate goal in winning gold?
Impressed and excited to join an actual team with a disability and without a disability.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that, man. Really happy for you and your teammates. Mack, I wanted to ask you, obviously you got a season right now. You're going through with the Raiders. You're having a great season. You actually have a career high in receiving yards already. I'm curious, what has led to that for you as you're trying to get the Raiders going here? I know you guys often made not the win-loss records you want, but the team's been competitive. What has helped you to be so successful personally this year?
I think it's years of work that have just happened to culminate into this season and this opportunity to get, plays on the field. I don't think it's ever guys just showing up and all of a sudden they have a breakout year and it was that off season that did it. It's, it's years of work that's finally paying off. And I know Zion can attest to this. It's a lot of work he didn't just show up and get the gold medal. It's a lot of stuff that went into it. So I'm fortunate that I've had the ball come my way and I've been able to make some plays, but it definitely wasn't something that just happened this past offseason. And that's the reason why.
I wanted to ask you about Monday night. It was a weird game. It was a wild game, and it ended, of course, controversially. I could ask you or the Chiefs this. How frustrating was the officiating on Monday night just between, you get a call from your perspective with Chris Jones and the roughing the passer. Then later in the game, it looks like Davante makes a catch. It gets overturned. There's some other questionable calls in the game. There's a hold on a field goal. As a player, I know you try to stay in the moment. You don't look for an excuse, but how frustrating is it when you feel like you're competing that hard against a very good team in your division, and it feels like the officials have a big hand in how the game played out?
Yeah, it can definitely be frustrating. I think I've just over my years in the NFL, I've learned that it's very, very rare that a ref can completely, or referee crew can completely change the outcome of a game. We can look at the roughing the passer, we can look at Davante's catch, the holding, and a lot of those calls can go either way. So it wasn't like there was some egregious missed call, or like there weren't other plays that we made mistakes on, or other plays we couldn't have capitalized on to make it so those decisions don't happen. And what ends up happening when it's close games, a lot of the time it seems like maybe the refs have a bigger play. And I know they do have some play in the game, but it's on us as a team to execute more plays and not leave it in the hands of somebody else.
Zion, I wanted to go back to you for a minute, man. You obviously, like I said at the beginning, a Special Olympian, a gold medalist. You have a brother who is also a City Hawk Special Olympics athlete. Can you talk about how special of a bond that is for you and your brother?
Well, I wanted him to join just because I want him to get more experience of being in different states and seeing other players from different countries and states. But I'm happy that he is joining because I just want him to learn experience of being a part of the team.
What does it mean to you, Zion, to be a Special Olympian? How important is that to you?
Well, it's about being a member of a team with both disability or not disability, but just bonding together and reach our goals and keep on moving and keep pushing yourself to the next level.
And Mack, I wanted to ask you, the Special Olympics, obviously a great cause. There have been, heck, NFL players, a lot of them have supported the Special Olympics over the years. Jamal Charles was a Special Olympian as a kid. Obviously went on to have a great career in Kansas City. Why did you want to support the Special Olympics and put your name and your face with it?
I think, the organization speaks for itself, but Zion actually spoke on it, just the unified sports, having athletes with and without intellectual disabilities playing together. That just had a draw to me that was different than anything else. I can admit, growing up, I was taught that those with intellectual disabilities should be separated from those without. And as I've gotten older and I've learned more about Special Olympics and it's become a bigger part of my life, I've learned that they can do anything and more that somebody without intellectual disabilities can do. Zion is better than me at soccer by far, and he has a gold medal for it. Chris Nikic, he just finished an Ironman in Kona. I cannot do an Ironman. I don't know very many people that can do an Ironman. And when, now that I'm seeing all these athletes and I get kind of this behind the scenes experience with them, I'm learning so much about them and I'm learning their capabilities. And I'm not surprised by it anymore because I know it's what they're capable of, but it's still like, wow. I have to step back sometimes and say, wow, like I could seriously get a couple of y'all and put you on a team with me and we could beat the rest of my teammates in a lot of different sports. And that's just the draw that it's had to me, because the way that they compete every day, the way that they encourage each other, win or lose, it's so incredible. It just reminds me of when I was a kid and why I played the game, why I chose to continue to play football. It was never for social media. It was never so people said I was a cool guy. It was to play football. Like I played football to play football. That's what I enjoyed. I was with my friends. And, being around athletes like Zion and other Special Olympics athletes, it's always special for me. It always brings me back down to earth a little bit.
That's great. Now, Zion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite part about being a Special Olympian? Is it the camaraderie with the guys? Is it just being able to compete and to win? It's something you really love doing. What is your favorite part of it?
It's just joining with a team who's in that level, meaning I just want to prove myself that I am in that level without giving up or people pulling me down. Just being me, meaning just keep focusing on what you want and keep moving. Not moving, but achieve your goals.
Gotcha. Well, obviously it's worked out for you. You've had plenty of success. Mack, quickly on the Raiders, I wanted to ask you, like we talked about earlier at the top, at 1-4, maybe not right where you guys want to be. Some tough losses, some weird games in there. You have the bye to regroup. If you were sitting here talking to a bunch of Raiders fans, Raiders Nation, what would you say to them about your opportunity to turn it around, get back to the playoffs after a little bit of a slow start?
I would just say don't quit on us quite yet. It's easy to say that we should have won those games, but we didn't at the end of the day. We lost the games, and that's not what we set out this season to. We didn't come into the season and say, I can't wait to be 1-4 going into the bye. But I know the team that we have. I know the coaching staff we have. I know the building that we have. And I know that guys, especially this week, are going to take it very seriously to self-scout. This is the week where you self-scout and you find out about yourself and you find out the mistakes or what you did well, what you did wrong all throughout the season. And you come back refreshed, body feeling good, and ready to attack the season. And if the Raiders fans were in front of me right now, I'd say it's about time we just win, baby.
Has it been hard? You bring in Davante Adams, who's incredible. I mean, every team in the league would love to bring in Davante Adams. But it also changes the offense, right? Because now you have this huge piece. I mean, you want to feed him the ball. You want to make sure you're getting your routes run for him as well. You want to make sure you're targeting him if you're Derek Carr and you're Josh McDaniels and you're calling these plays. So it's not necessarily a negative by any means, but is it hard to have that adjustment because you're bringing in such a big piece and you are changing the offense in a way that maybe in the past you haven't had that big time outside receiver? It's been more Hunter Renfrow in the slot and Darren Waller, at the tight end spot. Has that been part of a little bit of an adjustment for you, or do you not factor that in as much?
I don't factor it in a negative way at all. It's actually the reason I've
Sure.
had the numbers that I had. Davante is a very good player, and defensive coordinators understand that and usually push coverage his way, which allows myself, or whether it's Hunter or Darren or Josh, to make plays when we get the opportunity, just because of Davante's presence. Because if you leave him completely single covered, he's going to win 100% of the time, basically. So I don't see it as a negative at all. And he's not the type of guy that says, I'm not getting the ball enough. In his mind, a W is what's important. And that's rare for a guy of his caliber. So to see him do that is, it's pretty incredible, because I've been in the league 6 years, and I've seen a lot of guys who complain during wins when they don't get the ball and say, are you here for the win, or are you here for the stats? And he's not a stat guy. Obviously his stats speak for themselves, but he's a win guy, and that's what he wants to do.
No question. Once you guys figure that out, it'll only be for the better. And Adams had a huge game in Kansas City. They singled him up a few times, and he made them pay. Zion, can you talk to me a little bit about your coach and what he's meant to you here as you guys have had so much success in the Unified Soccer program?
My coach, he just my coach, he's literally helping athletes like me to keep on going, meaning keep pushing yourself where you want to be at, and just keep on keep on pushing yourself, and don't show him, but show yourself how capable you are, and just keep on reaching yourself to the top.
Mack, in your career, you've had a few different coaches. Who's the best coach you feel like you've ever played for?
Ooh, I don't know. That's tough. They're so different. So obviously with Coach Peterson in my rookie year, we won a Super Bowl, which was great. And then Coach Flores was more of a defensive-sided coach. Coach McDaniels came from the same team and on the offensive side. My college coach was one of the guys that gave me opportunities. And, it's hard to say who the best coach is, because each part of them built me into who I am now. So I can't say without this coach, I wouldn't be, because really without any of them, I don't think I'd be the player I am today. Because I took something from having a defensive-minded coach. I took something from a coach that played in Doug Peterson that played in the NFL. I took something from Josh being an offensive-minded coach. I took something from my college coach pushing me on special teams, which is how I got into the NFL, really. So there's so many things to say, who's my favorite. I think they're also integral into my career, and they've been amazing. Just like Zion said with his coach, it's like without them, you don't. A good coach, in probably Zion's eyes as well as mine, is, are they able to unlock your potential? Every player has it in them, but sometimes you can't see it in yourself. They can get it out of you. That's the mark of a good coach.
Well, great stuff, guys, and a great cause, the Special Olympics. We have Zion Dillard, the 2022 USA Games gold medalist for Unified Soccer, and of course, Mack Hollins, receiver, having a career year for the Las Vegas Raiders. Zion, Mack, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
A little more time here on the Stack in the Box podcast with a gold medalist in the Special Olympics, Zion Dillard, of course, a great player in soccer, Unified Soccer, and his coach, Joe Stewart. And Joe, I want to ask you, just right off the top, what does it mean to you to coach these athletes, and how rewarding has it been over the years?
Being a Special Olympics coach has been super rewarding. I'm a phys ed teacher at Zion School, 721M. And it's a specialized high school for students with intellectual disabilities. And a few years into my teaching career, we got hooked up with Special Olympics New York, and they pretty much guided us to have a full athletics program for our students. And that's where we really started to see our students shine, and our students with intellectual disabilities. And, all the way up to last year, where students like Zion went on and won a gold medal at USA Games.
How hard is it to win a gold medal in the Special Olympics, when obviously there are so many athletes here competing and trying to get to the top of their field, and you're trying to bring together athletes, obviously just like in any other sport, for a common goal. What is the biggest challenge for you as a coach?
Coaching Special Olympics, just like coaching in any other sport, you're trying to bring players together. They all have their strengths. They all have their challenges. With the athletes of Special Olympics, trying to see where they fit in and see where those strengths are. Once you tap into that, like with Zion, our man on defense over here, once we realized how good he was at defense and clearing the ball out, that really, the team really comes together. And our team is a unified team. So Special Olympics, unified sports, brings together athletes with and without intellectual disabilities, playing on the same teams as teammates and peers. And what we're most proud of with this unified soccer team is that everybody belongs and everybody has a role on the team. So even though we have unified partners and Special Olympics athletes, players with and without intellectual disabilities on the field at the same time, when you watch our team play, you just see a soccer team playing. Everybody's involved. Everyone's passing and shooting and scoring. So that's what we're most proud of on our team.
Fantastic. Zion, what has Coach Stewart helped you to find within yourself as a player on defense?
Just get along with players who've been who's into that level, and just show them how capable I am without being scared. But for me, I just do me and just keep showing the coach Stewart how good I am by doing me.
Fantastic. Well, listen, guys, both of you, very impressive. The Special Olympics, such a great cause, and also such a great opportunity for so many athletes who deserve one. I commend you, Zion, for the play you've been able to show on the field, and Coach Stewart for all that you've been able to help get out of these players and to find the best versions of themselves between the lines. Best of luck to both you guys going forward, and really appreciate your time here on Stacking Box today.
Thank you.
Thank you.